And we're streaming.
All right. Tell me when you're ready.
We're ready when you are.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to episode. Never mind. Stop that. Stop that.
No, I'll just keep it going.
Been a while since I've, done the intro.
YouTube gets to see the errors, but I'll cut it out for the audio version.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 206 of Nintendo Dads, recorded on November 21st, 2018, one day before Turkey Annihilation here in the good old US of A. Tonight, I'm joined by Jesse Waldeck, and we're going to talk about Pokemon, and probably some more Pokemon. Jesse, let's go. Play that music. Hello, everybody. I am Marty Estes, and you are listening to Canada's number 3 Nintendo podcast, Nintendo Dads. This is episode 206, and as I said, it's November 21st, 2018, and tonight we are a little short-handed, but hopefully not short on entertainment and information that you've come to love from the show. I'm joined tonight by the king of the internet, the VG Tribune guru, Mr. Jesse Waldeck. How are you, King?
Greetings. When you said king of the internet, the first thing I thought of was the villain from Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh yeah, yeah. That new movie's out right now. I want to go see it.
It's out. Oh, it came out this week. I haven't seen it yet. It came
out. Well, it's supposed to be today.
Maybe it came out today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I completely forgot about when that was launching.
Yeah. So, I've seen more movies in the last couple of days in theaters than I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. Well, speaking of movies, I got thanks to a post I saw on the internet on Twitter. Might have been from Mario 64, but I forget exactly. But I was able to get advanced screening tickets to Into the Spider-Verse for next Saturday. So it'll be 2 weeks ahead of its public release.
Very cool. Very cool. You'll have to tell me how it is. I'm looking forward to that one. Love Spider-Man. Anything about Spider-Man.
I'm nervous about that one because I love Spider-Man too. But every time I see a promo or a snip, the frame rate that they're using bothers me. After about a minute of it, it does kind of sink in, and I'm okay with it. But that just it's a
little jarring when you first see it.
It is initial shock to me, and it's really hard to swallow.
Well, guys, we are here on the cusp of Thanksgiving here in the good old US of A. As I said, Turkey Annihilation Day, but also Wallet Annihilation Day, and we're going to talk about some deals for you here in just a little bit, just like we did last week on the show. And by the way, if you're listening live right now, and we have a number of people who watch us on YouTube and listen live as we record, Black Friday deals are live right now. Walmart, GameStop, Best Buy, Target, I believe they're all live. And so go in there and get you some free games, close to free games. Nintendo, I guess is the way to say this. I picked up earlier, right before we started recording, Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, WWE 2K19, and God of War, all for PS4 for $53.99 shipped from GameStop. Ridiculous.
Nice.
Ridiculous. And my wallet and my backlog are both crying. So speaking of backlogs and crying, let's get right into the news, shall we? And our news is brought to us by us and you over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. We want to say a huge thanks to our patrons. And since we are saying, it's the season of Thanksgiving, allow us to say thank you, patrons. Thank you to all who support us. Thank you for watching us on YouTube, subscribing. By the way, Jesse, what's our subscriber count on YouTube right now?
We just broke the 3,000 mark yesterday.
3,000 people. Actually, we're way above that right now, or we're not.
It was like 3,012 when I looked.
Yeah, we're trending upwards as we speak. And guys, that's a ton. There's like a ton of new people who have been kind of like come into the Nintendo Dads family in the last few days. And so if you're out there and you've not joined up as a patron, or you're a patron and you've not subscribed on YouTube, vice versa, go do both. Go do both. Even for $1 a month, you do so much for us, and we're thankful for that. And again, we want to say a huge thanks for a couple weeks ago supporting our extra live stream. We raised over $2,200 for Extra Life. Or actually, you know what? I can't remember how much we raised. It was a crap ton of money.
I think it was in the $2,800.
It was in the 2,800. Yeah. So for me, it was over 1,500. For the Nintendo Dads team, over 2,800. And so you guys just blew it out of the water. Incredible. Awesome. We're so thankful for you. And that's why this week, even though we're a little short-staffed, if you want to call it that, we wanted to put together an episode for you because we're just thankful that you guys make this so much fun and you support us. And so, guys, thanks for 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, and here's to 3,000 and 30,000 and 300,000 more.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for the release of two specific games, we probably would have just taken the week off. But I'm like, no, we want to talk about these games.
Yeah. So let's just dive right into the news, shall we, so that we can get to those games. Pokemon Go has celebrated a year's worth of community days as of this week, or as of this coming weekend, I guess, or in a couple weeks.
Yeah, next weekend.
They're going to have a special weekend event on November 30th from 4 p.m. Eastern through December 3rd, 2 a.m. Eastern. That event will spawn all 11 previous Community Day Pokemon. So Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Pikachu, Eevee, Dratini, Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Mareep, Larvitar, and Beldum will appear more frequently in the wild during this event. And special moves previously featured during Community Day events in 2018 will be available again during the weekend. And for 3 hours on December 1st, there will be bonuses available, double XP for catches, double Stardust for catches, double Incubator effectiveness. And Pokemon Go also right now has a new level 5 raid target, which is the Gen 4 legendary Cresselia. And you may say, why are we talking about Pokemon Go? Well, because not only is Pokemon Go one of the most dominant games for mobile devices, it just so happens that it syncs up with the brand new Pokemon Let's Go that is in our hands now after last week's show. And so, and I mean, it's a juggernaut, guys. Jesse, you are showing us the Pokeball Plus. For those of you who aren't listening, he's holding up the Pokeball Plus. Jesse killed it this week, man, on YouTube with videos about everything that Pokeball Plus can do and how to sync it up to Pokemon Go. And yeah, who's in there?
I think my Eevee.
Your Eevee is in the Pokemon, and you're shaking it to death.
Yeah, you shake it and then it'll scream.
I think it just said something about, yeah, bye-bye. All right. But anyway, so Jesse has shown all these videos. We've got other videos about Pokemon Go coming out, or Let's Go, and the Pokeball Plus. Jesse, you've been getting in a lot of obviously, like a lot of hands-on time with this, and Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go and everything. Before we get to what our Let's Playing is here in just a minute, just like 30 seconds, your initial impressions as someone who has played, like you admitted to me earlier, you've not finished a lot of Pokemon games, but you've played a lot of Pokemon games throughout the generations. What are your thoughts? 30 seconds, go.
So I'm liking the nostalgia of you're talking about Let's Go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm liking the nostalgia of playing back the first gen game. That is a little bit easier because the original games was a little rough, being the first time making a game and very limitation on Game Boy hardware. Sometimes I think it's a little handholdy, but I can get past that. So I'm enjoying it, and I still plan on continuing to play it through. I think I finished Gen 1 back in the day. I think I finished Gen 4 up to becoming a champion, but I don't remember if I did post-game content. And I don't remember Cresselia at all. I mean, my son tells me that she was part of post-game, so that's why I completely missed that one. And then the Gen 7, I finished those, including post game. I did all the Ultra Beast stuff and whatnot. So I've played almost every generation. I skipped 3, I skipped 5, but I've never gotten far into them except for those generations 1, 4, and 7.
Gotcha. So as far as integrating the Pokeball Plus with Pokemon Go, because this is it's going to be a big deal with this upcoming event, right? Tell us because we may not get to this in actually what we've been playing, because we'll be talking about more about the game. What does the Pokeball Plus do for Pokemon Go?
Okay, so if you remember when Pokemon Go launched 2 years ago, it also came with this little clicker that's shaped like a pin.
Yeah, like a GPS pin.
Yeah. So if you were near a nearby Pokemon, it would go off and you can click it to try to catch it. And if you are near a Pokestop or a gym, it'll blink blue and you can click it to spin it. So this does essentially the same thing, but it does have the added benefit of it will auto spin stops and gyms. So, and you're now able to tell it to not notify on stops or gyms or not notify on Pokemon. So I have it set on the ball to not notify me for Pokemon, but to notify me on stops and gyms. That way I can be out driving with it on, paired to my phone, and it'll just spin stops automatically for me while I'm driving by.
Right.
Then,
so it's not going to catch Pokemon automatically.
Right.
But it will notify you that they're nearby.
Right, but I shut it off, but by default that's on. And the reason why I shut it off is because if there's a Pokestop and Pokemon in the area, the Pokemon take precedence, so it won't get to the stop until I've tried to catch all the Pokemon.
Gotcha.
And so I've got to actively click the thing, and I'm throwing away a lot of Pokeballs. So while I'm driving, I just
rewind here just a little bit, though.
Sure.
If it notifies you about a Pokemon, and you click in the stick on the Pokeball Plus, it tries to catch it.
Yes, but it's not the stick; it's the alt button on top.
Okay, the button on top.
Right. So
Sorry.
Yeah, it'll use one Pokeball and it'll make one attempt to catch it, and it's miss or succeed or fail.
And it will light up and it will tell you, right?
Yeah, it'll tell you if you succeed. It'll vibrate and for about a second and have a rainbow of colors.
Okay.
And if you fail, it'll blink 3 times red. Pop, pop, pop. And you'll feel that rumble fast 3 times as well, so you can feel it if you're not watching it.
Right.
And I did put out a video showing, play alongside the ball and showing how the various colors and the reason why you see them.
Yeah. So guys, you all go check out that video. There's a ton of knowledge on YouTube from Uncle Jesse about Pokemon Go and Pokeball Plus integration. Really cool.
Yeah, I've used the ball more on Go than I have with Let's Go.
Yeah.
I just play Let's Go handheld.
And because I don't play Go a whole lot, because again, we're not in a huge metropolitan area, so we don't see a lot of Pokestops and things like that. So I've used it more with Let's Go. And I'll talk about it a little bit more about like actually playing the game with it when we get to that here in a little bit in the show. It's a mixed bag. I'll just go ahead and tell you that it's a mixed bag. But I don't want to like crap all over it just yet. But it's worked and it hasn't worked is a good way of putting it. So let's move on. Let's talk about some more news here. Bendy and the Ink Machine has now released on the Switch, which I believe this was a release on all platforms today, correct?
I don't know, but wouldn't surprise me if I can double check if it's on PS4.
I know it was on Steam before, and it had already been available there, but I know for sure that's available on the Switch as we speak right now. And
it is on PS4, so it's probably also on the Xbox One.
Okay, right. So how much is it on the Switch?
I thought it was $30. I can double check that real quick.
Yeah, I want to get that out there. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with what Bendy and the Ink Machine is it's a survival game.
$30.
It's $30. Yeah, it's a survival game. There is a physical copy of this available only at GameStop, published by Rooster Teeth. It is available on the eShop for download. It's kind of like Cuphead meets survival horror. And that's the only way I know how to describe it. The characters are designed like those old, like 1920s, 1930s cartoons, like Mickey Mouse looked at like back in the day, the old black and white cartoons.
Yeah, it's based on a 1920-ish style animation studio that's kind of gone under and kind of has a little story around that and
Yeah.
what the owner tried to do to keep it afloat, and because of it, bad things happen. And hilarity ensues.
Yeah, and hilarity and screaming. So if like survival horror or survival games or scary games or just any combination of those three are up your alley, then Bendy and the Ink Machine is for you. It's a pretty like when they announced that it was coming to the Switch, this was a big deal, right? I saw a lot of people online go, "Oh man, Bendy and the Ink Machine's coming to the Switch."
Yeah, I think that was announced shortly after Episode 5 launched, which just before Halloween, or was it announced before that?
No, it was announced a long time ago. Like it was announced
around Chapter 4.
Oh, is it a chapter game?
Yeah, it's a chapter game.
Okay.
So, yeah,
so I thought you were talking about something else. Yeah.
It took at least, I think it was 18
6
months.
to 8 months.
Okay, yeah, it's probably Chapter 4 then. Yeah, so the game originally launched like 18 months ago, so it took a year and a half to get 5 chapters out to finish the story.
Yeah, so
and then now it's out on consoles.
It's been coming like to consoles for 6 to 8 months, so it's really cool. It's out there. There's not enough.
That's kind
like
of
this
normal
is one of those genres like survival horror and scary, spooky games in general. That you don't see a lot of that on the Switch. Really,
it's not as jump scary as Five Nights, but it's a little bit more interactive.
Yeah, I mean it has. I dare say, it's more story driven than Five Nights, right?
Yeah, Five Nights is more.
Five Nights has a story, but you're trying to.
It's a button pushing simulator.
Yeah, which by the way, and I'm glad you mentioned that. We talked about this before the show went on the air. Five Nights at Freddy's, the whole series is coming to the Switch. It's actually just coming to consoles. It's also coming to iOS and Android again in remastered HD versions, according to the creator. No time frame was given, just 2019. So those are coming. My son's going to be happy about that. He really likes Five Nights at Freddy's, even though the first time he played it scared him. He didn't sleep for a week. So,
yeah, my youngest daughter liked the Five Nights. She doesn't. We bought the games and she's played a few of them. No, I don't think she's ever gotten far, but she likes watching, like the.
I think that's what he likes. I think that's what my son likes. You know what's crazy about that game too is that the story gets really dark really fast. Like if you ever go down the rabbit hole and start reading the story about why the robots come to kill you, it's surprisingly just about murdered children.
Yeah, I watched a lot of the theories from Matt Pat and Treesicle, and
like if you're a dad out there or a mom out there and you're listening, probably it's not really the best game for kids to be playing. Even though they sell toys out in the Walmart toy aisle. Like we were looking at toys tonight when we went there, and my son's like, "Oh, hey, it's Five Nights at Freddy toys." I was like, "No, you're not getting a nearly decapitated robot toy. I mean, if you want that, let's get a Transformer. At least it has a headmaster. At least it's cool."
Yeah, I don't know what the ESRB rating is. It's probably a T because it really isn't gory. But
no, it's not.
It's a hard T. I'd say. Wait until you're 15 or 16.
It's slapstick. It's like slapstick horror in a way, but legitimately, if you don't know what this game about, your character when he dies gets crammed down inside of a robot puppet with grinding gears and mashing teeth.
You don't actually see that, but it's all implied.
It's heavily implied that the security guard that you're playing is
mainly jump scary. It's just jump scary with creepy looking animatronics.
It's jump.
If it wasn't for that, then it'd be kind of it'd be for everybody.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit of online competitive stuff going on. The latest Splatoon 2 Splatfest just ended. Team Salsa versus Team Guac, and because guacamole is nasty, Team Salsa destroyed Team Guac 3-0.
Wow.
And let me just be honest with you. I'm Team Queso. I don't know why this was even a thing, as to why you only got salsa and guac. That's ridiculous. Both of those vegetable-based choices. Bleh. Get the salsa out of my face. Get that guac out of my face. Nacho Libre reference there. Had to work it in. I wanted Team Queso.
It's
Like it
nacho
should have been
cheese.
like.
It's mine.
Do you remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one, where it was like the two turtles faced off against each other, and then the winners faced off against each other?
As a tournament style.
The winner of Team Salsa versus Team Guac should have had to fight Team Queso, and you knew which one would win. It's Team Queso. Everybody would pick Queso.
Right.
Forget about it. It's done. But anyway, Team Salsa, a handy 3-0 victory. Also, the next Arms Party Crash is coming up. I believe it's this weekend, correct?
I missed the date. I just saw who it was featuring.
I will go find it real quick while we're talking here. The next Arms Party Crash will feature Min Min versus Lola Pop, and it is set to take place this weekend, November 23rd, from 1 a.m. Pacific time to November 26th.
Another waifu war?
Yeah. I don't like either of them. Sorry. No, they're not my folks.
When I mentioned Twintel a few weeks ago for an off the wall thing for Smash, I had a lot of comments saying, "Why not Min Min?" And my answer is, frankly, I completely forgot about her.
Yeah.
I don't own the game, it's Twintel has left the impression that Min Min did not.
I literally haven't touched Arms in a year, but if I did, Master Mummy all the way. That's the way it rolls. Also, Super Mario Party is now the third fastest selling Mario Party game in history, trailing only behind Mario Party and Mario Party 8, respectively. Mario Party, of course, is the number one. Mario Party 8 is number 2.
I was hoping to see more numbers behind it, but NPD doesn't really share real numbers anymore. They just share the rankings. Yeah. So I don't know where it lands and how close it is to 8. But
I also noticed for those of you who are going to be out shopping, doing Black Friday shopping, and you still need a set of Joy-Cons, if you don't have Super Mario Party, number one, you're missing out on an incredibly fun game. Number two, they have the set out now that has the Mario Party game and the 2 Joy-Cons, and it's $99.99. So the thing is that you're getting a set of Joy-Cons for 50% off. So you're getting a green and a yellow. So I mean, why wouldn't you do that? If you're looking for both of those, you're saving $40, unless you just don't want Mario Party, or you just like spending more money. I mean, that's a thing too. But it's out there. You know what I noticed too? This was all at Walmart. They had 5 Pokeball Pluses. They had 1 of the Mario Party bundle, and they had 3 Eevee bundles with the Pokeball Plus, and the Pikachu one was completely sold out.
Wow.
Pikachu superior, Eevee inferior.
Nice Soundwave
Sega
reference.
Ages Phantasy Star. Yeah, I had to do that because of your shirt. Sega Ages Phantasy Star will be coming out on December 13th, or you can just buy it on the Sega Genesis Collection releasing on December 7th with 49 other games.
And I don't want 50 garbage games.
Version.
Actually, I don't care for most of the 50 games, but I might buy this one as a standalone because I've heard decent things about it. I've never played it, so I'm kind of curious.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I always heard about the Phantasy Star series, specifically Phantasy Star 2, back in the day. And the thing about the Sega Ages is it does make it a little bit worth it if you don't want the big collection, like you were saying. But there are differences to the game. Like they take these and it's not remastered, but like they added the drop dash to Sonic the Hedgehog. And so, there's different little quirks and tweaks. So it'll be interesting to see which tweak they include there in Phantasy Star, if they do anything to it at all. If they don't, I don't understand why.
If they did, I wouldn't know because, again, I've never played the original.
Sure. Sure. Maybe just a guide or something a little bit different. I don't know. But if you buy this game and you find a difference, write into us, tweet us, let us know. That kind of stuff is interesting to me. Like when they start tampering with ROMs and old stuff, like they're doing with the SP versions on the NES online thing. So
So this
even though,
so this might be my post Pokemon game while everyone else is playing Smash. It
oh
depends.
yeah,
It depends on if anything else comes up that's interesting. But right now, I've got my eye on this because some
okay.
curiosities.
Speaking of Smash, I'm glad you mentioned that, Jesse. That's a good segue. Amazon Japan, in a move that is it's odd, but it's still very Japanese. Will offer an exclusive box set of 63 amiibo that are available as characters in Smash. It will be released around February 2019 because some of the characters, of course, have not been released. I'm thinking probably Piranha Plant and others. And only 50 of these sets will be available. Now, all the amiibo will be together in one giant box. And you can go see the listing. Just go to amazon.co.jp and search amiibo. And it should be in there. No idea, no indication of how much this will cost yet. But why don't we get something like that here?
That would be amazing, and it would be
It would be
expensive.
extremely expensive,
Yeah, because
but it would be cool if you had the ability to buy it, right?
so the question is, would they make it a deal, or would they say this is a limited edition, we can mark it up? Because
What do you think
63 at 13 each is $819.
Oh yeah, I mean it's going to be $1,000.
Probably,
I'm
yeah.
calling it now. This is going to be the U.S. equivalent, $999.99. I don't know, maybe, and that might because of the packaging, because of everything else, right? Because
So
there's a
so
cost to that.
so you're guessing 113,000 yen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice conversion, by the way.
I just did it quick. Google.
Yeah, Google will do that. Our last news item today, and one that we'll spend a little bit more time on, is that currently Nintendo of America is running a Cyber Deal sale in the eShop for both the Nintendo Switch and the 3DS that features some really good discounts on some games, including some games that are brand new almost. And so I'll run down some of these and just kind of call out some that are of interest or ones that I think you should play. Jesse, do you have a link to this?
Yeah, I can send it to you
It's
quick.
on the front page of My Nintendo News. If you could call out some of these too. Just a couple for Justin, I'll go ahead and say this. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is on 30% clearance for the Switch. Starlink Deluxe Edition and Digital Edition are both 25% off. Snipper Clips Cut It Out Together is 50% off. Doom is 50% off. NBA, both versions of NBA 2K19, the regular and the anniversary edition, are 50% off. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, 30% off. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition is 35% off. Celeste is 20% off. Undertale, go buy Undertale, 15% off. Just Dance 2019, 30% off. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is 60% off. Even the Gold Edition, which includes all the DLC. Does the Gold Edition include Donkey Kong DLC, Jesse?
I don't know. I think it does.
Go in to check right now. I clicked the link.
So while he's doing that, there's the Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Editions, on discount again, about to what it was when it was on launch. You have for 3DS Dragon Quest 7's on sale for $20. The Ocarina of Time 3D remake is on sale for $14.
Yeah. Okay. So the Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle Gold Edition that is available right now is all of the DLC, and it's 60% off. Like, that's nuts. I'm telling you right now, if you have not played this game, now is the time to pick it up. Absolutely. Like, go right now. I'm going to go through here, and I'm actually going to read off, no, I'm not going to read off prices. But I do want to get to the regular edition is $23.99 if you buy it. Just the regular one. I'm looking right now for Mario and Rabbids Gold Edition. Go ahead and show us some of the highlight some of the other ones there, Jesse,
Okay,
that you're into.
if you're Shin Megami Tensei fans, there's 2 games for 3DS: the Persona Q and Devil Survivor 2 3DS remake are both for $10.
Oh wow,
So that's half off of retail.
very cool. A couple more that I want to highlight. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove is also available. That it's on sale. And guys, I know there's probably longtime listeners of the show. You're tired of me talking about this game, but Enter the Gungeon is 50% off right now. And like, if you don't have it, what are you doing with your life? Okay, it is the best roguelike on the Switch. Period.
I've never even heard of this one, but his DDD's Drum Dash Deluxe, $350.
Oh yeah,
for 3DS.
Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle Gold Edition on the Switch is $31.99. That includes every bit of DLC, which just reading it off the page here, 8 new solo challenges, 5 co-op maps, 16 new weapons, and that also includes Donkey Kong and the Donkey Kong DLC story in that, plus the regular game for $32. Okami HD is 25% off. Sonic Mania is 25% off.
Box Boy and Box Boy are half off for $250.
Yes, and those are fantastic as well. Wolfenstein 2 is 50% off. SteamWorld Heist, yes,
that's $10.
If you're in the mood for fighting games, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection is 35% off right now. My favorite one,
Radiant Historia is half off for $20.
My favorite one, and I know that this is a joke because of the company that made it, West of Loathing is on sale for 11% off.
11.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, also, Hyrule Warriors Legends for 3DS is 50% off as well. Guys, there are tons and tons of deals to be had right now. Almost everything that's on sale on 3DS is 50% off, except for just a few, like Shovel Knight is not. Etrian Odyssey 5 is not. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon is not. But honestly, those are good. And also, you know what celebrated its 20th anniversary this week, Jesse?
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time, the definitive edition of Ocarina of Time, the remastered 3D version that has the way better water temple, is 30% off on the 3DS right now. So, like, for a lot of these games, these are no-brainers. There's no excuse to skip out on some of these. There is something for everybody. There's single-player games. There's sports games. There's first-person shooters. There's puzzle games you can play with your family. There's strategy. So go and get you some of this goodness. It's just digital. All right? It's just digital. And this lasts from right now until November 28th. And so if you miss it, don't say we didn't tell you. All right? It's November 28th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. 9 a.m. Pacific time, which means if you're in the Lord's time, that's 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's official. It's the time of the King of the South. November 28th, 11 a.m. Central Time. Do not miss out on these Skyrims on this list. There's a ton more, guys. There's something. I mean, honestly, like, I looked through this and went, I can't buy any of these because I have most of these games, but very, very quality stuff. MyNintendoNews.com has a great compiled list of all of these. Shout out to My Nintendo News. It's my favorite Nintendo News website. Go over there and check them out. And yeah,
that's where most of our show notes come from.
Yeah, it is because they're just great. Go over there and and show them some love, but also get you some deeply discounted games. that is our news for the week. Jesse, let's move into what we've been playing, shall we? Awesome, awesome. And let me just take a minute to mention here. We ask for your questions and your comments earlier, and 95% of them were about Pokemon. I wonder why. And so we're going to kick off this this version of what we've been playing, or this week's what we've been playing, with a question from. Let's see here. I just had it, and oh my gosh, Marty, you're an idiot. It was just there. All right, Andre Gershwind, and I just butchered that. I just butchered your name, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. One of the patrons of the show, good fan. We love him. Here's what he says: the only question that matters: Pikachu or Eevee?
I like the rest of his question, but
and it says, and then the people who answer Pika have to explain what went wrong in their life. Well, that would be me. And so, Jesse, I just want you to go ahead and defend Eevee.
I went with Eevee just because I did try to play Yellow, twice. I bought it back in '99 when it was new, and then I bought it on the 3DS earlier this year or last year when it was launched, and didn't get very far in either of them. So I decided, let's change this up and go Eevee.
Right. But everyone knows that the only reason that Eevee is worth anything, nobody likes. Here's the thing, nobody likes Eevee for Eevee.
Well, you haven't been in Japan,
everybody just likes Eevee for her evolutions, or his evolutions.
Maybe, yeah, in North America probably, but in Japan, Eevee is basically the secondary mascot. If you go to a place that sells merch, you see Pikachu and Eevee, and that was way before this game was even thought of.
Well, here in America, we like that there Pikachu. And I did pick Pikachu. Number one reason that I picked Pikachu is because that was the version that I knew my son would want to play, and that's the version I want to play. I like Pikachu way more than Eevee. And so let's just get right into this, because this is really the centerpiece of the show this week.
Yeah. So remember last week? Last week I said I was going to buy 4 copies. 3 of them are Eevees. My son is the only one. My son is the only one that got Pikachu.
That's okay. The local kids around here and the local players around here have made up for your Eevee rampage by leaving all the Eevee copies on the shelf at my local Walmart.
Nice.
By the way, can I just start this out by asking you something, because you put something in our Discord chat earlier and it's haunted me all day, and I can't.
You don't know what that is, huh?
And so just so you don't know, for those of you who are not in the Discord chat, who are just listeners of the show, Jesse posted something earlier about the bottom of the box of the Pokemon Let's Go that come with the Pokeball Plus, and he said there's a little Easter egg on the bottom of the box. I noticed that there was something on the bottom of the box when I got it, because I turned it around, looked at all of it, and then I threw it away, so I can't go look at it anymore. Please explain, because I cannot quit thinking about it.
So I don't remember what the specific item names are, but earlier in the game you choose between 2 fossils. I think this is while you're in Mountain Moon.
Yeah, the dome fossil and something else.
Yeah. And what is on the bottom of the box are the fossils in dirt.
Ah.
And then, so later in the game, you'll get to a lab that lets you revive the Pokemon from its fossil form into its real form, and it'll be a Kabuto or an Ammonite, depending on which one you chose.
The dome fossil or the helix fossil?
Right. I should have known helix from the meme that was made from Twitch Plays Pokemon.
Right. So, if you get the helix fossil, what do you get?
See, I don't remember which one's which. I haven't gotten that far in the game to know.
Well, I'm reading the reason I asked, because I was reading an article and the little predictive text or whatever cut off. The dome fossil gets you Kabuto, which then evolves into Kabutops.
Yes.
The helix fossil gets you Omanite, who evolves into Omastar. Yes, I picked the right one. I got the dome.
I don't even remember which one I picked.
I got the dome. So I wanted Kabutops, so I'm cool with that. That's fine with that. So, guys, obviously, we've been playing a ton of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Both of us have been playing with the Pokeball Plus, and both of us, well, I'll say this. I was about to assume something. Jesse, have you played in co-op mode at all?
I have not.
Okay, so I have, so I can speak to that. But before we just dive in, well, let's just dive into it. Jesse, what's like just do it. Spill the beans. Talk as just tell us, what do you think about Pokemon Let's Go so far?
I thought we already did this, but yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, I mean, now be a little more specific.
Okay.
Tell us how far you are into the game.
Right.
As somebody who said earlier you had finished Pokemon Red back in the day, how does this compare? Those kinds of things.
Okay, so again, as I think I said before, this is a little bit more hand-holdy. It definitely is an easier game than the original Red, because we tried to do a playthrough of Red, Blue, and Yellow when they were on 3DS, and I don't think any of us got very far in it.
No.
So this time, I'm 17 hours in, 18 hours in.
Oh yeah, you're a little bit further than me.
I'm in the city that has the 4th gym, but there's some Team Rocket stuff going on that I've got to clear out before I can get to the gym. And I did forget how much stuff they give you to do between cities. It's almost a little annoying, but and it's probably done for padding, but on the other hand, it's also almost required to keep your party leveled up to where it needs to be for where the game will lead you. Because if I remember right, you really don't change a party much once you're happy with it until you're almost to the Elite Four. On the road to the Elite Four, that's where you start catching your higher end Pokemon. You'll catch them at levels 40s and 50s, and you'll pretty much make your Elite Four party out of those that you catch, with the exception of maybe one or two that you've liked from the start of the game that you still hold on to. But you'll usually be revamping your party between Gym 8 and Elite Four.
Right. So that's 17 or so hours that you have put into the game so far. Has some of that been shiny hunting?
I have not done shiny hunting. I did try to get a combo going just to see how far I can get it. I couldn't get one really much past 4 or 5, just because I started getting bored and I thought I need to move on.
You know where the easiest place to get a combo is?
The first forest.
It is there, but also the Diglett Cave.
Oh yeah,
because there's just Diglets.
Yeah, my son already has 2 shinies that he caught in the wild, in addition to shinies that he's imported in from Go.
Wow.
So
I have thus far seen 0 shinies.
I have not seen a shiny yet either. But what's nice is when you do get a shiny, you see them in the overworld. So you can say,
right.
That's a shiny, I'm going to go get it. It's not like Go, where the overworld will still look like this regular thing. You tap it to start the encounter, then you'll see if it's shiny or not.
Right. So let's talk about this too. Let's talk about the elephant in the room with this game. This game is getting review bombed. Metacritic, YouTube videos that have been put up about it, all kinds of different places where users can submit reviews. Amazon is another one. People are just
who goes to Amazon for reviews that are serious?
Exactly. Well, who goes to Metacritic for reviews, right? For user submitted reviews,
right?
At least in cases like this, despite most critics giving this game a solid 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, user ratings have been absolutely brutal on this, simply because a lot of people in the Pokemon community hate this game for some reason. But the flip side of that coin is that people like me, who have been put off in the past by traditional mainline Pokemon games, really, really love this game. One of the things I've seen online over the last few days is people saying, I've never touched a Pokemon game, or I've never been able to get a Pokemon game to hold my attention, or I've never really enjoyed the mechanics of traditional Pokemon games, but I'm playing Let's Go and I'm having an absolute blast and I'm loving it. And when I read those things, I can't help but think that's exactly what Nintendo was going for.
Right. This game isn't for the Pokemon hardcore that want Generation 8. You got to wait another year for that. And that isn't surprisingly new. We've known this for a year. So don't be surprised, because you shouldn't be.
Yeah, and I guess my thing is, after playing this, and I saw an article about this today that was published over on our good friends Nintendo Nostalgia, their like group on Facebook, and I believe it was either from Kotaku or Destructoid, and it basically said, I never want to play Pokemon with random encounters again. I want the overworld to look just like it does in Let's Go. And I was like, yes, that's exactly right. I love that, like, the world feels alive, right? Because, like, you're walking through the grass and all these Pokemon are appearing and running around and doing their thing. It just, like, can you imagine that in a mainline Pokemon game? Like, where they may have, like, instead of those Pokemon just kind of like running around, like maybe they've spent time to get them to do other things, like interact with the world or interact with each other. Like maybe you come up and all of a sudden two Pokemon are fighting each other, or something like that. And
there is some lore going on with some Pokemon that one is the prey of the other. And
yeah,
I remember from Sun and Moon, I forget which one it is, but one is a very rare spawn as it is. But the way to get it to trigger more often is to fight its prey, and when it calls for help, sometimes the predator comes down.
Huh?
That's how you get the predator. Now I forget which two Pokemon they are,
cool.
but that is part of Ultra Sun or even original Sun and Moon. So I could see them adding a little more AI.
See, I would love for them to do that. Because I think that we're at a point, like, as far as development of Pokemon, like, this has taken, like, the perspective and the way the overworld looks in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, and has made it really beautiful and really interactive in HD and everything, with the way that you're able to go, all around all the places. And it's not this top-down, view anymore, like yellow and blue and red, but it's still it's added in that non-random encounters. Like you can choose to avoid your 50th Weedle if you want to, which is great.
Funny you mentioned that it's not quite top down; it's more of an angle. The problem with that is I want to use a second stick to shift the camera, and he won't let you do that. Kind of like
that's right.
I had the same problem when I played the demo of Octopath. And I feel like if you're not going to let me control the camera, I want more on overhead. But sure. I can understand why, because they spent the time to make 3D models. You want to show off the 3D models,
right?
So, and about the random encounters, I'm kind of both ways on it. I see the chat is also kind of split. A lot of people like you can see them on the map, and it's not random anymore. It does feel like more like a world building thing, but on the other hand, it also makes it feel like it's easier to non-encounter if you don't want to, and if you don't encounter enough, you're gonna lag behind, and you're gonna have to grind later. So having the random encounters kind of makes you grind as you go a little bit more.
Sure.
I think that was my oldest daughter's problem. Is she's at the third gym. She had to grind it to beat it because she was underleveled. Where when I got the third gym, I was 10 levels above.
Yeah, I mean and that's me. I'm the same way. But like, I just like being able to see it, because I like if I see a Pokemon I want or I need, I can go, oh, okay, there it is. There's Sandshrew, or there's Butterfree or they're, whatever. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to capture that. And it just, I don't know, it just feels more organic. And I know a lot of people were worried about the capture mechanic. I just think it works.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I didn't
There
have
were
any
a lot of
problems with it.
people who were upset and they were like, there's not going to be any fighting in this game. There's not going to be any Pokemon battles. There's a ton of Pokemon battles in this game. Like sometimes I feel like I'm like, okay, I'm done fighting. I just want to go catch again. Like I don't, but I want to speak to it from the side of the co-op version of the game where the support trainer comes in because I had my son do that and we played through at least to the second gym co-op. And then he was like, I'm tired. I want to play my own game. I'll abandon you here. You can do your own thing. Number one, going back to the hand holding comment, playing with a support trainer is extremely overpowered. Extremely.
Yeah, again, I haven't tried that yet.
Like the early game, all the way up, like there's no way that like even gym leaders, when there's like it's 2 versus 1, it's completely unfair. Because like
because they're balanced for one-on-one play.
Well, yeah, I mean, like one person can be Pikachu and the other person can be like their weakness, right? And so for a while, with using a with using a Pokemon that had the trainer's weakness plus Pikachu who had I had like lightning or electric and fighting and normal moves on him that all could attack. It was there was no battle that went past 1 round.
Right, because
it was like
if you do that, you get twice the hits as they do, and you receive half the hits because the attack is being spread. Unless later on in the game, when they start using area of effect moves that affect your whole party, or there are some that'll affect the entire board except for the caster.
So there's a
spellcasting terms.
There's a move that Pikachu learns early on called Light Screen. And if you use Light Screen, it affects both Pokemon. If your support Pokemon is in the game, and it's totally easy for you to play handheld mode. And in handheld mode, you don't have motion controls, but you can shake that second person in, and then attach the Joy-Con when it's the first player's turn to put in their Pokemon's moves. Detach the second Joy-Con when it's time for the second player.
That kind of sounds annoying.
It is. And what happened was, okay, so in the game, for those of you who haven't played, you can like play with your Pokemon, right? Like you can pet Pikachu and you can like poke his cheeks and do all kinds of stuff like that. And when you do that enough, your Pikachu's level of affinity goes up or Eevee's level of affinity goes up and they gain a special move. All right. And the way that you trigger that special move is by shaking your controller, right? So I was battling Lieutenant Surge in the third gym, and it was handheld, and so I'm like shaking my Switch and nothing's happening, and I'm shaking my Switch and nothing's happening. So just mistakenly, I popped off the second Joy-Con and shook it, and it was like a support trainer has arrived. So after that, I couldn't get the support trainer to leave because like shaking it wouldn't make it leave. So I had to finish that whole battle, taking on and putting on the putting on the Joy-Con, taking off the Joy-Con. It was extremely
just
annoying.
Off the left one and play that way.
I mean, I guess I could have, but actually, it wasn't working. I tried that.
Oh,
it would only work docked, or only work with both of them in to allow me as the first player to do it. So it was weird. I think it was just some kind of. Yeah,
I've also played most of the game in handheld mode. I do like it's kind of like gyro aiming when it comes to like when the Pokemon. I was wrong last week when I said if the Pokemon moves side to side, you have to curveball it. No, you can aim left to right.
Yeah, you can do it with the stick too.
You can do it with a stick too. I found that out by accident.
Yeah, so playing co-op, the first part of the game is an absolute breeze. I mean, it's like y'all are catching. But one of the points I wanted to bring out was that it uses up so many Pokeballs because you're tempted to do the synchronized throw every time, right? So what you're actually doing each time is like me and my son, we're counting down 3, 2, 1, throw, and we're hitting them over and over. Now you get a lot of experience for this for your Pokemon, but you're also using 2 Pokeballs per throw.
Yeah,
so if you catch 15 Pokemon, you need 30 Pokeballs.
Right.
And here's what I don't understand. Okay, like so I throw the Pokeball and it goes over the Pokemon or it doesn't hit them and it's rolling around on the ground and I'm like, guys, I can see that Pokeball. It's rolling around the ground. Why can't I go pick it up?
Yeah,
right?
Same thing with Go. Once it touches the ground, it's dead.
Yeah, that's dumb. It's dumb. It's like, oh, it breaks. It breaks when it touches the ground. That's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think if you miss, it shouldn't count.
Funny story here. You know how sometimes the Pokemon can attack and kind of swat your thrown ball away. In Go once, I had a really tight curveball, so it was curving in to hit them. They smacked it away, and it pretty much curved right back at me. So I threw it. Left to center, and when it knocked it away, it ended up flying right. I'm like, that was weird.
You should have been able to should have been like when you fight the Phantom Ganon in Ocarina of Time. You should have been able to hit it back and forth until one of you finally missed it, and then you got captured by the Pokeball. I don't know. Anyway, I'm having a blast with this game. My son is absolutely loving it. I am going to drop some knowledge on you that it took me just a minute to figure out. I didn't know if you knew this, but you can style your Pokemon's hair in this game.
I knew you could because I remember seeing that in a promo, but I tried doing that with Eevee. I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Yeah, so what you do is you want to go in to play with the Pokemon, and you want to make sure that it's hatless, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to take two fingers, put them together, and normally you would stroke back and forth on the Pokemon's head with one finger, and it would give you the music notes and the little hearts and stuff, and it'd be like,
actually using the touchscreen.
So take your two fingers, stroke back and forth on the Pokemon's head, and it'll foam up like shampoo, and then it'll randomly spawn one of the 5 different hairstyles for that Pokemon.
See, I was trying to use a joystick pointer to do it.
Oh no, you have to do it.
I didn't realize that was a touchscreen.
Yeah, okay, it's only the touchscreen, and so
But I like her with hats on.
Has, Eevee and Pikachu both have a bald or no style, and then they both of them have spiky hair, and then there's a coif, and there's a poof, and a couple others. So there's 5 each per Eevee and Pikachu.
Yeah. Well,
so it's kind of pretty cool.
Going back a little bit, talking about the random spawn rates versus seeing them on screen.
Right.
I would like to see a slider, kind of like what they did with Bravely Default.
Okay.
So whether to maybe not even a slider but at least a toggle, you can choose between the two. I think I'd like that. That way, people who want it or don't want it can choose the way they want to play it.
And honestly, that would be pretty easy to implement, right?
I think so.
I just think that we're seeing some things in this game that we're going to see in the mainline Pokemon game that's coming in 2019, and people need to prepare themselves for that. This game definitely makes me more excited for the mainline Pokemon game coming in 2019, whereas before I was kind of like, oh yeah, they're making another Pokemon. Great.
All right.
Cool.
So, do you want me to say something that might make you cry?
No, go ahead.
Okay. My son beat the game Sunday night.
Oh, wow.
And after he unlocked the ability to transfer Pokemon from Go into Let's Go. So, and with that, he was able to as part of that, in Go, you get a mystery box that when you open it up, it's like an incense where random Pokemon will spawn around you.
Mm-hmm.
But it will spawn Meltan.
Ah, okay.
So you catch as many Meltan as you can for half an hour. Now that you have a Meltan in Go, you can send it to Let's Go.
Gotcha.
So he has done that. His dex is 152 large. He is missing 1 Pokemon. Melmetal. And Meltan will not evolve in Let's Go. The only way to get a Meltan into the game is to evolve one in Go and then transfer it over.
Oh, gosh.
Which requires 400 candies. So that'll take a while.
Oh, you are kidding me.
Nope. I'm not that far in the game, so I haven't done it yet for myself.
400 candy. There. Somebody at Nintendo and Niantic are smoking
Well,
crack.
they do that. They've done that once for every generation. You know, Magikarp, uh, Swablu, Whalmer was generation 1, 2, and 3. So now it's Meltan. They all take 400 candies to evolve.
I'm
So,
not cool
so
with that.
when I get
I'm
that
not
far in the game, I plan on making YouTube videos showing how the process is how to transfer back and forth. Or actually, it's not back. It's only one way. But then also triggering the Meltan and Go and showing that as well.
So you have to beat the game to be able to transfer them from Go to Let's Go.
No, it's a building in, I forget the name of the city, but it's where the 5th gym is.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay.
the southern of the map. It's like southern center.
Celadon?
Maybe
It's either Celadon or Saffron.
Celadon, I think. You know,
Okay.
whatever's southern middle in that's the city. There's a
I don't
building
know.
in
We'll
there.
get. Hey,
It-
you know what, Jesse? We'll get there eventually.
Yeah,
Right?
I was hoping to get there on Monday, but I haven't had a chance to play with work.
We'll get there eventually. And so, guys, obviously, we've been playing a ton of Pokemon Let's Go, and that's probably what we're going to continue to be playing over the next little bit. Let's get some questions here from the community about Pokemon Let's Go, and then we'll save the others that aren't about it until the community spotlight here at the end. Okay.
Sure.
Let's see here. Shellshot Prime asks us this: admit it, who here traveled with their Snorlax?
I haven't counted yet.
I haven't either, but I will
found
tell
where
you that.
I found where both of them exist. I just need the flute.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen video of this. Have you seen it?
No,
Do you want me to tell you what happens?
no.
Okay.
I'll,
All I'm gonna say is this: is that when I do get Snorlax, that will be my only method of travel.
Okay. Oh, you know, when my son transferred Pokemon in from Go to Let's Go for the first time,
Uh-huh.
he did a shiny Marowak and a shiny Moltres. So
Oh,
then
wow.
he put Moltres in the party and said, "Take out a ball." So this giant flaming red bird is behind him, and she was
Very cool.
it was awesome looking.
I
I took a
love the
picture of
ability-
it. I took a picture of it and put it in the Discord chat.
That too, like just the little graphical touches of being able to have, your Pokemon out with you and everything as you travel. I think that right there is another thing that needs to carry over. My characters,
People have been wanting it since Gen 2 when that was a thing.
yeah, my
and
character's currently riding a Persian,
Nice.
so that you can pick up a Persian in what's the third city? Is that Viridian?
Yeah, I don't remember the
I
city
think
names.
it's the third city. There's a girl on the bench, and she says if you catch 5 Growlithe, then she'll give you a Pokemon.
Oh,
and
I did see her, but I
She gives
answered
you a
cat.
Growlithe, or she gives you a Persian in Pikachu, and Eevee she gives you a Arcanine.
Okay, yeah, I said cat, so
And
I have to
catch 5 Meowth.
So I have to catch 5 Meowth, or the Japanese word is Nyanth.
Mr. Vaca at Doid Life 518 on Twitter asks us this. Or first, he says, "Congratulations on 3,000. Thank you very much. Would you like to see Game Freak make a Gen 2 remake with the same style, in the same style of Let's Go in the future, or would you rather they leave this style behind and remake Gen 2 with the new graphic style but original gameplay mechanics?"
I wouldn't mind seeing JoJo in this form. You know,
I'm all in.
after
Like if
Gen.
they want to make all the Pokemon games like Let's Go, yes.
Yeah,
Who were the starters in Gen 2?
Uh,
Was that Totodile and
I think so. I should know this, but
I should
I'm,
too.
I'm brain dead at midnight 15.
Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile.
Yeah.
So who are your 2 going to be there? Is it going to be like one? Is it going to be starters, or were there Gen 2 standouts?
Well, I don't see. Yeah, they've never done anything other than the starters, because Yellow was kind of a special thing when you had to have Pikachu.
Right.
Yeah, so it'll probably just be back to the choose one of the 3 starters again. I don't think they'd.
So, Pokemon Let's Go Totodile.
That sounds awful.
Pokemon Let's Go Chikorita. Yeah, see, I can't see them doing that.
I'd imagine them just calling it Gold Silver and.
Pokemon Let's Go Gold. Pokemon Let's Go Silver. I'd be fine with that. Paul Lloyd at Paul Lloyd 10 asks us this: is it just me that feels old because I can't work the Pokeball?
I'm wondering what he means by that. Does it mean to because when you're using it to actually do the motion control, you actually
please understand.
I did not mean to push that, but it actually makes sense. It applies.
It applies here.
You have to hold it properly because if you hold it skewed, I'm showing this to my camera. I know you can't see it on the audio version, but if you don't hold it straight, it will throw curveballs and then you mess up.
Yep.
So you have to make sure you hold it.
You'll also walk crooked.
Really? Oh yeah, because you think you're pushing up, but you're pushing left.
Hmm?
Yeah, so you have to do it.
Up is toward the button on top of the Pokeball.
Yeah, up the Alt button in the red area is up. So you may have to make sure you keep that like that when you do your throw motion.
There's also, and one thing I didn't notice, I guess because I didn't pay much attention to PR leading up to it and everything. There's also this really awkward plastic ring that is halfway between the end of the line and the Pokeball that they encourage you to slip your ring finger into.
Yeah. I didn't
while you're playing.
This does feel awkward because it's it's meant for a younger child's finger, not my fat fingers.
Yeah, it's tied on me.
Yeah, so haven't. When I did play it, I did use the wrist strap, but I didn't use the ring.
Yeah, I've taken to not using the ring. I would like it if the ring was removable, but I'm gonna be honest with you. The documentation that came with the Pokeball Plus was insufficient. It did not do much to teach you how to play with the game, especially did not do a whole lot to teach you how to connect it to the Switch and get it going in the beginning. So I'm sitting there pressing buttons and plugging it up and unplugging it and doing all kinds of things. It's making all kinds of weird noises. So no, Paul, you're not the only one. It seems like it would be super intuitive, but it's not. And so, yeah.
So, I know Justin made a video showing this, but I wanted to show this here. When you plug in the Pokeball to charge, this happens.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you heard that, but
we did.
Okay,
it's the same. It's the Pokestop sound when you're recharging your Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the Pokeball, let's move on to this question. Joshua Crow at PHX Crow asks us this: is that dang Pokeball actually a paywall for content?
Other than Mew, I don't think so.
Right.
You might be able to transfer a Mew from Go to Let's Go, but you only get
you
one.
You are because another person here at Gani 7789 says, I didn't even get it. I already have Mew on Pokemon Go.
Right. Well, but you can only get one Mew in Go, and I don't know why you'd want to transfer that over.
I was thinking that I had read somewhere that you couldn't transfer a Mew.
I thought I heard that too, but so that's why. So I think the Pokeball is the only way to get a Mew in Let's Go. But
also
other transferring from Go to Let's Go does not require the ball. Another thing the ball lets you do.
I want to say this for anyone out there who's listening. Mew can only be transferred one time, which NintendoSoup.com has published an article saying if you delete your Pokemon Let's Go save file, Mew is gone.
Right, you're talking about sending it from the ball into the game.
Yeah, it's like it's there and then it's gone. So once it's out of the ball, it's out.
Right, because it's like you claim it like a mystery gift on the internet. Like you'll get a code from GameStop, and you do that to get your whatever the legendary of the month is. So instead of going from the internet or from a code, you get it from the ball. That's only a one-time shot per ball.
right? And it says this basically it says so if the moment you transfer Mew into your game, that's the first and last time you get Mew unless you buy another Pokeball Plus. Uh, can I ask a question here? What's the point of having Mew? Like I have him. I've got the Pokemon Plus. Obviously, I transferred him into my party. I don't get it.
So in the original games, he was a Pokemon you could not acquire in game. He was you could. There was legitimate ways to get him, and I had a legitimate Mew from a Nintendo event, but most people just Game Sharked it in. But yeah,
Right, but I mean, what my question is really about is that he's not that useful. He's not all that powerful.
He's not.
He doesn't evolve to Mewtwo.
No,
who cares?
It's a slot to fill your decks.
I mean, I get that part. I get the novelty of having a Mew, but it was. I'm just saying it was to somebody who who didn't know, who wasn't familiar with the whole history of it. I expected a little bit more.
Yeah, I think the parts in the game that says come back when you have a full decks usually just means through Mewtwo, because Mew wasn't available through through normal means, and of course now we have Meltan and Melmetal, which again can't be acquired through normal means. You got to go through Go to do that.
Right.
But at least there's no paywall there other than just a crap ton of time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. At Togobap, Bruce Patterson asks us this: if you were a Pokemon, which one would you be?
Ugh.
I'm going Snorlax.
He likes to eat and sleep, huh?
Eat, sleep, only wakes up for really loud noises. Yeah.
I'd probably think Alakazam.
Ooh, Alakazam.
He's the smart one.
I like Alakazam. I like Alakazam, and you are the smart one. That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, guys, we are obviously, like we said earlier, going to be spending a ton more time on Pokemon Let's Go, just like a lot of people over the last few days. I did notice earlier that in Japan right now, Pokemon Let's Go has something like a 15% attach rate in the time or sell through in the same time as other Pokemon games. Comparing that to games like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, those were like 9%. There was even one.
There's also almost 3 times as many 3DSs out there than Switches.
Right.
So
right.
Take that into account.
Basically, what the point of the numbers were to show that Pokemon Let's Go is actually doing really well.
Yes.
Despite what you may read from user reviews, and this is one of those places that I think, Jesse, you could speak to this just a little bit. I'm going to tell you, don't trust user reviews on this game. Trust us, which actually is a user review, but listen to what we're saying. If you see people who are just putting it down like, oh, it's not like regular generation Pokemon, it's stupid.
That's not a review. That's this isn't what I want.
That's a great way of putting it. It's not a review. It's a complaint.
Right. You know, a proper review, even if it's not what you want, still should be judged on what it does or doesn't do.
That's right.
Not in the context of itself, not in context of what you want it to do.
Does it do what Nintendo said it would do? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it introducing new fans to Pokemon? Yes.
Yes.
Is it bringing a whole generation of little gamers in to love Pokemon? Yes.
And older gamers back in.
And older gamers back into it. So I see success. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Bada bing, bada boom.
Well, I'm not sure if the individual SKUs will reach 10 million. Both put together definitely will.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it'll be Odyssey fast, but it'll be close.
I agree with that. I've also read earlier today that Pokemon Let's Go has Nintendo was quoted as saying something like there has been a quote significant uptick in Switch hardware sales
I think
since
that was
the release of Pokemon Let's Go.
I think that was a UK article that's commented on Switch sales.
Yeah. I just read right here, thanks to my Nintendo News, Pokemon Let's Go is definitely number one. It's number one right now. So in Japan. So really cool. Definitely, this is one of those that I think is we talk about games here. It's like can't miss games. I think this is one that you can't miss. I think this is a family game. I really do. I think this is a perfect father son, father daughter, mother son game for you to play with your kids, especially because of the support trainer ability lets them come along with you. But also, as Jesse said earlier, it's a little easier than the first go around with Pokemon, so it eases them into this world, and they may not need your help. My son's farther than me in this game right now. He played it nonstop Friday afternoon and Saturday morning, and he has already finished the fourth gym.
Yeah, my son completely forgot about shiny hunting and wanted to. So he plans on playing the game again on another account and trying to shiny hunt Mewtwo and the birds when he gets that far.
Wow. And that's pretty significant. And let's talk about why. Your son traditionally has played multiple copies of Pokemon at the same time on multiple systems just to farm shinies, correct?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I saw him do it yesterday. He was playing Let's Go on the Switch, and he had four 3DSs in front of him, and he was playing them all at the same time.
Yeah. And so for him to to say I got distracted from shiny hunting to complete the game, I would say it's a big deal.
Because he bought Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, got to the point where you start grinding through the legendaries through the Ultra Wormhole, and never finished the game because he's distracted with the shiny hunting. So it's like one thing or the other with him.
Right. Right. So I would say that's a pretty big hit then if it's distracting people who are that into shiny hunting with the actual story and progression of the game.
I think he's in the 380s with shinies.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That is just insane.
Onomeister in the chat says, "Let's Go Pikachu is my very first Pokemon game," and he is my age.
There you go. So, like you said, bringing in new younger fans and new older fans alike. I would have to say that for me, I don't know if it's the new mechanics and the lesson difficulty or why this is sticking with me, or if it's just the better graphics and familiar Pokemon. Is why it's grabbed me. But I like, unlike other Pokemon that I've not been able to get a hold of, this one has really got my attention, and I really plan on finishing it.
So my son's down here listening to me. My side of the show, he can't hear you. He just sent me a text, 392 to be exact.
392 shinies.
Yes, over like every generation that has a shiny, I think.
That's still pretty cool, man. Like that's a really neat achievement.
I don't know where he keeps it all, and I don't know if he knows where they all are, but he's got them. And
he just discarded shinies everywhere. Guys, let's move right into our community spotlight. We've got a couple of questions left. All right, so we also received a couple of non-Pokemon questions on the old Twitter device, and so let's take those on right now before we close out this show. The first one is from Michael at Mua15Mua on Twitter, and he says this: "Are you surprised that we haven't seen any special game discounts through being a Nintendo Switch Online member yet?"
I'm not really surprised. I figured that would take a while to get going. They're still gearing up with the NES games every month, and we know more coming in 2019 that they haven't announced yet. So I just kind of think that they don't know what they're doing yet, but they will, and they'll probably have like on well, similar to like what PS Plus has done since you know before PS4 launched when PS3 didn't require PS Plus to be online. But if you were a PS Plus subscriber, certain games were discounted for you, but not for a non-subscriber. I think they'll probably do that from time to time. They just haven't
Right.
gotten there yet.
Yeah, like I want to say I'm disappointed, but I'm also want to say this is Nintendo. I'm just surprised we're getting Black Friday discounts on the eShop.
Right. And as many as we were. You know, in the past we might have gotten them, but there might have been 6, 8 games.
Right.
That was a crap ton. You know, we spent 15 minutes, 20 minutes on that, didn't we?
We did. Robert Hood at Crazy Tune 15 asks us this: is anyone playing Warframe?
I haven't not yet. I said in our Discord that when I'm done with Pokemon, I'll download it and say, give it the try. Which most likely I'm not going to like it because I don't like that type of game. But I'll say I tried it.
Yeah, I mean, like for free, I could definitely try it.
Right.
I do believe Justin is playing the game. He was pretty excited for it to come out.
Someone in our Discord chat already said they deleted it. Now, I don't remember if that was Justin or not. But
I don't remember that either. But I will tell you that 12.4 gigabyte download is a little steep. That's a little hard to get over for a free to play game.
Yeah, it depends. Depends on the size of your SD card. You know, I'd be able to take it.
Right. I got a 400 gigabyte, so it's not a big deal to me. But I know for some people that can be an issue.
Yeah,
right.
Tim says Justin already deleted it. Yeah.
Justin already deleted it. So I
don't think it was the fact that he didn't like it. It was just that he didn't have time for that particular game. He had other games he wanted to play first.
And to answer Robert's question, I've read about Warframe and seen a lot of tweets about it. It's either one of those games that just absolutely grabs you and it doesn't let go, or it does nothing for you.
Yeah, no,
there's really no middle ground.
My son just joined the chat, so now he's talking to Tim and the others.
So hopefully, like, you know, I mean, it's for those of you who don't know, Warframe's out. It's a major release. Panic Button has handled the port to Nintendo Switch, and it's absolutely free right now on the eShop, so you can go check it out. I'll probably do it at some point, but not right now. I want to finish Let's Go, and then I have a horrendous backlog of games I need to get through. By the way, speaking of backlog, I didn't talk about this on Let's Play because I forgot about it, and I'll tell you why. I finally finished Night in the Woods.
Oh, yeah.
And, oh my gosh. Why do people like that game?
Yeah,
it was terrible.
I remember the ending went weird.
It was stupid. Like, I mean, like the only thing that I know that I could call it is like if people ask what type of game is, it's a boring life simulator. You're an animal, you walk around, talk to other animals, you go to bed, then you run around in their dreams and find a bunch of animals playing ghost instruments. And then, 15 boring hours later, there's the end of the game and nothing's happened. And it was just stupid. Like, I remember being super hyped for that game and downloading it, and I got about halfway through it and quit. And then this weekend I was like, I've got some time. I'm at my parents' house. Nobody's really doing anything. I'll finish Night in the Woods. I could have spent that extra, 7 hours I spent on it this weekend on Pokemon.
So some people like that type of story. Yeah,
I guess they do.
I remember thinking.
Not me.
I don't remember if I liked it or not. I just remember it was weird.
Yeah. There's a lot of games though that want to do stuff. It's like anyway. Those are all of our community spotlight questions, and with that is going to be the end of the show this week. We are going to go and get ready to eat and consume massive amounts of turkey and pie. What you need to do...
I still have a pie I need to make before I go to bed.
Yeah.
I have to edit and post the show, then make a pie, then sleep for a few hours.
Jesse's got to make a pie, and then he's got to get ready. What kind of pie is it, by the way?
We're doing I already made a pumpkin pie, and I'm going to be making a chocolate pie, but I'm using a keto diet recipe. because my oldest
Very
daughter, excuse me, my oldest daughter, my wife and I are kind of doing a keto diet as close to we can. So it's low carb, high fat, or specific types of fat.
Yep.
So like vegetable, like olive oil is okay, but vegetable oil is not. I don't remember. I don't understand what the difference is, but there's a difference.
The same thing my wife and I are doing. But here's the deal: tomorrow we're frying a turkey. We don't care. Okay. Vegetable oil, olive oil. It doesn't matter.
The meal itself is going to be non-keto, but at least the
cut the
pie,
corners while you can, right?
But at least the pies I'm making are keto. So I made crusts last night with almond flour, butter, egg, and and that almost was a disaster. But my wife helped fix things up, and I made pumpkin today. I'll be doing like my grandma's in town. If she saw what the nutrition was, she'd have a fit. Because it's low carb, but like the pumpkin is something like 30 grams of fat, and the chocolate is almost 50 grams of fat.
Don't tell grandma.
We're not.
Just serve the pie and let it go, and she'll be none the wiser, and she'll be happy. Guys, we want to say, as we close out episode 206, we want to say a huge thanks to our Patreon producers, Dave Ernsberger and Timothy Off. Tim's holding it down in the chat and has been every week while we're here on the show. And so if you're on YouTube watching with him, you've seen him, go over there and interact with him. You can also head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads to support us again for as little as $1 a month. You too can join the Nintendo Dads revolution and provide great content. Like Retro Rewind, which is coming back very, very soon as Gary and I are able to coordinate a time to record it. You can also follow us on our social media at Nintendo Dads. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. You can email us at nintendodads@gmail.com. You can call in and leave us a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS or 929-256-3237. And if you want to buy sweet Nintendo Dads merchandise, we're not offering a Black Friday sale because we can't, but you can head over to tiny.cc/Nintendo Dads store, all lowercase, to get you some stickers, some shirts, phone cases, even a bed cover with our wonderful faces on it. Big thanks to OC Remix for all the music throughout the show, and big thanks to you for listening to another episode of this craziness. For myself, for Jesse, for Justin, for Zach, and Gary, that's all we have for this week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
Wobble Puffet? Wobble Buffet?
I love it.